I want you to think about someone right now, someone who confuses you. They don't say they like you, they don't make it obvious, but something about them just feels different. And you can't explain why. Maybe it's the way they looked at you last week. Maybe it's the way they remembered something you said months ago. Maybe it's just a feeling you can't shake no matter how hard you try. And here's the truth most people don't realize. Attraction is rarely loud. It's quiet, subtle, and sometimes even hidden on purpose. Not because people are dishonest, but because vulnerability is terrifying. Because showing someone you care before you know if they care back is one of the bravest and scariest things a human being can do. So instead, people hide it. They mask it. They bury it under jokes and distance. And I was just passing by. And once you understand these hidden signals, you'll never be confused again. Because today, I'm going to show you 7 signs someone really likes you, even if they're trying to hide it. And trust me, some of these will completely change how you see people. Before we dive deeper, a quick message. If you've been learning from my videos and you want to support this work, you can subscribe to me on Facebook with a paid membership, send stars, or join my YouTube channel's paid community. Your support helps me create more powerful content for you, and I truly appreciate every bit of it. All right, now let's continue. Let's start with something very subtle. Sign number 1, they act slightly different around you. You might not notice it immediately, but watch closely. The way they talk, the way they sit, even the way they laugh, it changes when you're around. Maybe they become more energetic or suddenly quieter. Maybe they seem more careful with their words. Why? Because when someone likes you, your presence creates pressure, a kind of emotional tension. They become hyper-aware of themselves. Every word feels heavier. Every gesture feels more visible. They're running 2 programs at once, trying to be natural while being completely unnatural inside. And here's the interesting part. They don't even realize they're doing it. Their brain is trying to impress you while also trying not to look like they're trying. And that internal conflict, it leaks out through behavior. You'll see it in small things, the way they straighten up slightly when you walk in, the way they suddenly become funnier or suddenly go quiet, the way they check their appearance just a little more when they know you're nearby. These aren't accidents. These are signals. And once you start looking for them, you'll see them everywhere. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Some people don't just act different, they actually pull away. Sign number 2, they occasionally ignore you. Yes, on purpose. This is where most people get it wrong. They think if they ignore me, they don't like me. But in reality, sometimes ignoring you is exactly because they like you. It's called emotional self-protection. When someone feels too much, they step back. They delay replies. They act busy. They create distance. Not because they don't care, but because they care too much and it scares them. Think about it. When you're completely indifferent to someone, you don't think twice before replying. You just reply. No strategy, no hesitation, no second guessing. But when someone matters to you, suddenly every message carries weight. You read it 3 times. You draft a reply and delete it. You wait because you don't want to seem too eager. And from the outside, that looks like distance. But from the inside, it's anxiety wrapped in feelings they don't know what to do with. And here's the darker side of this. Some people also use this as a strategy. They think if I show less interest, they'll want me more. So they mix attention with absence. Hot, then cold. Close, then distant. And your mind, it gets hooked trying to figure them out. That uncertainty becomes obsession, and suddenly you're thinking about them more than ever, which was the point all along. But what if I told you their eyes reveal more than their actions ever will? Sign number 3, their eyes stay a little too long. Eye contact is one of the strongest signals of attraction. But it's not just about looking, it's about how long they look. Normal eye contact during conversation lasts about 3 seconds. Anything beyond that, that's intentional. That's interest. If someone holds eye contact just a second longer than normal, that's not random. That's emotional interest leaking through the one thing they can't fully control. And sometimes they'll quickly look away when you catch them. Almost like they got caught doing something they shouldn't. And maybe they smile slightly as they look away. That small, involuntary smile, that's everything. Because in that moment, they were unconsciously drawn to you and their brain forgot to hide it. There's also the opposite pattern to watch for. Someone who likes you but is trying to hide it might avoid eye contact altogether. Not because they're uninterested, but because eye contact with you feels too intense, too revealing. Like if they look at you too long, you'll see everything they've been trying to keep hidden. Either way, whether they stare a little too long or look away a little too fast, both are signs. But eye contact isn't the only thing they lose control over. Their body starts betraying them too. Sign number 4, their body turns toward you without thinking. Here's something most people never notice. When someone likes you, their body naturally faces you, even in a group, even when they're talking to someone else. Their feet, their shoulders, their posture, it all subtly points in your direction. Why? Because attraction pulls attention, and attention controls body orientation. It's subconscious. They don't choose it. Their brain does. You can test this next time you're in a group setting with this person. Notice which direction their feet are pointing. Feet are the most honest part of the body. We control our face, our words, our hands. But our feet, they go where our interest goes. And if those feet are pointing at you while the rest of their body is pointed at someone else, they're thinking about you, even when they're not talking to you. Another thing to watch, they lean in when you speak, even slightly, even subconsciously, because your words matter to them in a way that other people's words don't. And once you see this, you'll start noticing it everywhere. But what's even more revealing is what they remember about you. Sign number 5, they remember small, useless details. You casually mentioned your favorite snack once, and weeks later, they bring it up. You forgot you even said it, but they didn't. That's not normal memory. That's selective attention. When someone likes you, your words carry more weight. Your details matter more. Your presence becomes important. And their brain stores everything connected to you, even things that don't seem important, because to them they are. They remember the name of your childhood pet. They remember the city you grew up in. They remember that offhand comment you made about a movie you love. And when they bring these things up later, they're not trying to impress you. They're revealing something they probably don't even realize, that they've been paying closer attention to you than they've let on. This is one of the most genuine signs of all, because you can fake confidence, you can fake distance, you can fake indifference, but you can't fake memory. Memory is where our emotional investment quietly lives. But sometimes, instead of getting closer, they do something unexpected. They tease you. Sign number 6, they playfully tease you more than others. Teasing is not random. It's controlled provocation. When someone likes you, they want your attention. They want a reaction. They want engagement. So, they joke, they challenge, they playfully push your buttons, not to hurt you, but to create a connection. Because emotional reactions build attraction faster than polite conversations ever will. Think about how you interact with people you barely care about. You're polite, you're pleasant, you say, "That's nice," and move on. But the people you're drawn to, you poke them, you challenge them, you want to see how they react, because reaction reveals personality, and personality is what we actually fall for. The teasing is just a vehicle, a safe way to say, "I notice you, I'm interested in you, I want you to engage with me," without actually saying any of that. And here's the deeper truth. If they tease you but never cross the line, it means they're paying attention to your boundaries too. That's not just attraction, that's care. But there's one final sign, and this is the one that exposes everything. Sign number 7, they find reasons to be around you. This is the most honest sign of all. Because no matter how good someone is at hiding their feelings, they can't fake proximity for long. They'll sit near you. They'll show up where you are. They'll start conversations for no real reason, even small things. "Hey, just checking something. I was nearby. I thought I'd say hi." These are excuses, not coincidences, because attraction seeks closeness always. And when someone repeatedly finds ways to be around you, it's not random, it's intentional. They might not even be fully conscious of doing it. Their brain just keeps finding reasons. "Oh, I need to ask them something. Oh, I should probably sit here today. Oh, I was going this way anyway." But underneath every one of those reasons, there's a pull. A quiet, persistent gravitational force that keeps moving them toward you. And once you recognize that pattern, once you see that they keep ending up near you again and again, that's not coincidence. That's a feeling they don't know how to say out loud. Now here's the part most people don't want to hear. Just because someone likes you doesn't mean they'll act on it. Fear, ego, past experiences, all of these can stop someone from expressing what they feel. Maybe they've been hurt before. Maybe they don't think you could possibly feel the same way. Maybe they've convinced themselves that staying silent is safer than risking rejection. And in many ways, they're right. Rejection is painful. Vulnerability is terrifying. And so people carry feelings silently for days, for months, sometimes for years. And the connection that could have been something real fades quietly into the background. That's the tragedy of hidden attraction. Not that people don't feel things, but that they feel so much and say so little. That's why understanding these signs matters. Because attraction isn't always spoken, but it's almost always shown. And when you learn to see it, you start to understand people in a completely different way. You stop taking distance personally. You stop mistaking silence for indifference. You stop confusing coldness with lack of feeling because you understand that behind most confusing behavior, there's an emotion that person doesn't know how to handle. So here's what I want you to do. Think about that person again, the one who came to mind at the very beginning. Go through these signs, not one or two, but the pattern. Because one sign alone means very little, but 3 or 4, that's a story. That's something real trying to find its way to the surface. Pay attention to how they act around others versus how they act around you. Pay attention to what they remember, to where their body faces when they think no one is watching, to whether they keep finding reasons to end up exactly where you are. Because people tell you the truth all the time. They just rarely use words. And if you've made it this far, you're already seeing people differently. You're already asking better questions. You're already looking past the surface into the behavior underneath. And that skill, that ability to read what people don't say, it will change every relationship in your life, not just romantic ones, every single one. So do one thing before you leave. Hit like, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to understand people on a deeper level, check out the other videos on this channel. Because once you start seeing the truth behind behavior, there's no going back. And honestly, you won't want